Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're back with the television casual bots, and the player we're going to be reviewing this video is someone who got a second and then a first in the last week's finals on EU, and this is OBQ Rayy. Spoken to this guy a couple times on the DMs, and he's super chill, and it just so happened his first earn was the other day, so let's go check him out. The game one we're going to be reviewing right now is the second place he got. This is a super good game to VOD because there are some mistakes he made, but he also played out the game very well. So this is what we're going to be looking at. Starting off straight away on the drop spot. In the finals, your main priority is to survive. You get 3 games, so surviving is your main kind of priority there. He does not get the best drop here. This guy is out dropping him by a slight amount, but he probably does the correct thing and dips off here. He gets a little bit lucky. I'm going to speed it up. He gets a bit lucky not to get killed here. The player either runs out of ammo or can't be bothered to shoot him anymore, but he gets the chest and he goes down to the boat. Our spawn's not going to be black and white every single game. You're not going to be the same every single game. There's going to be people, there's going to be different players in different spots, different players with different drops. That rhymed, I'm a poet. But the point is, you have to be maneuverable in these off-spawn situations, and he does a great job here. He hasn't got the best builds, but he does manage to scare off this player from the boat drop after the player's got most of the loot. Now at this point, there's 80 players left, and the loot's not looking great. The loot's looking pretty poor. But this is where it really, really shines to be a player that knows what they're doing and knows the map well. Rayy clearly does here. After he does this, he gets all the metal from these containers, which is about like a couple hundred. And then he does something that I really like. He starts by rotating around dead side of zone. Dead side of zone, chat, is basically the side of zone with the least amount of players on it. So in this kind of zone where it's going to fall over here, the players with the least side of zone is going to be this side. This side of zone is going to be so dead compared to any side of the other side, you know, over here. We can see that he does a great job of coming into Brawler's Battleground, because this is a place that he's found that's relatively uncontested. I think one kid landed there, so he was able to scrap loot some stuff and just avoid taking damage from the storm, which is also a big thing when it comes to heal off. He does a great rotation to get this next zone. You can see there's some metal around here. He farms a tiny bit of it and then goes, not wanting to take any storm damage for a heal off. He then pops the fizz and does the fizz rotate straight to redline. He now has around 1 minute to get all the metal he wants from redline and cap out his metal before zone comes in. I think he just manages to do it. 480 metal, not too terrible at all. You can see even on this rotate over here, this is Rayy, and he's rotating straight to dead side. You see all the other players that are all up here, and like I said earlier, it's about to come true. This side is the congested side. This side is the deadest side I've ever seen. Rayy knows he's going to be able to avoid every single mid-game fight by going this side, and he's doing a great job of it at the moment. All of these players, see up here, rotating into each other, fighting each other, etc., sniping each other. He is chilling in this building and has cap, has all the loot he needs, max heals. He's looking great. He pulls zone again, tries to start moving, but gets hit 60 and realizes there's some spare heals in the building and just goes back to the building for now. It's fine, he's only lost 100 wood and just farm it all back up as soon as he gets back, so it's no big loss, and he can just keep his position. I personally think he still should have tried to carry on there, because although he's going to lose 1 or 2 splashes, the positioning he's going to gain from that is quite a lot, to be fair. He knows that he's unlikely to pull zone again at Sandy, so I think he should have gone further up here and just took the blows, because there's actually some spots here that we know they're uncon because they're part of the map. We can see the map right now, but he didn't know that. But he still could have gone up there, in my opinion, because he knows there's going to be less players this side anyway, because it's dead side. I think it's just the right decision. He has got a max rotate to make here. As I said, if he had gone earlier, it could have been a bit better for him, but he does make this rotate very well. This is Rayy right here, the white mark, and he goes all the way around the outside instead of going around the other side where it's going to be a lot more congested. He gets in just about. At this point, farms some spare mats, and he's looking good. He's made the rotate super well compared to some of the other players around him, and he is still cap after that refarm. Not many players could make a max distant rotate like that and still be cap. He's done an exceptional job here. The rest of the players, though, are wandering around 100 builds. All of them around the 100 builds, and that is not great. They're all lacking in a certain area of their materials. There's one guy with cap mats, but the rest of all the players are not as stacked as Rayy is right now. And that's going to show in the end game. He's going to have to get far less refreshes because he has more mats than everyone else. You see he's pulled out a pretty good zone here, and we're going to see him rotate it. He's going to wait pretty late here. I would have gone as soon as zone pulled because it's a super close one. And I don't think he really needs this refresh. He's still got great mats. He could probably make it in super easily here. I think it's a good refresh. It works, but it could have griefed it. It could have griefed it. He does a really smart play here, though. You're going to see it. What he does is he edits the front tile of his cone around the back of his box and then sits there again. You'll be able to see. He goes up like he's rotated and he comes back to here. It's a really smart way to get a refresh, but with the amount of people around it, I don't think he really needed a refresh. Although he does take it perfectly. But anyway, he makes the crucial mistake, in my opinion, of dropping his spray weapon. Now, a spray weapon is needed in an endgame. I think in certain scenarios you could get away with a extended mag on your gatekeeper, but playing heights as a lot of players go for in endgame, getting a refresh in endgame, very few players are going to be able to make it to the end of the game on 150 mats. I know he's got cap mats, but very few players are going to be able to make it to the end without getting a refresh from this point onwards. So he's going to need a refresh at some point. It's a lot easier to find one with an AR, especially with only 3 bullets now. I think that was a mistake. I think he drops the medkits because he's going to need another refresh anyway. He drops 1 stack of medkits, carries his AR, and then he can find a refresh for the extra 3 medkits. You don't need to be carrying 6 medkits into endgame. This is what everyone else is here for. If we look at every single player, if we cycle through them, 3 medkits on this guy, 2 medkits on this guy. This guy's going to die soon because he's got nothing. 3 floppers on this guy, 2 medkits on this guy, 4 floppers on this guy, 3 medkits on this guy. Everyone else is carrying medkits for you. If you get a refresh, there is a 95% chance that that player will have medkits for you to carry. At that point, you can drop them because you're further in endgame and you can drop the spray weapon, but it depends on your situation. You can drop the spray weapon at that point, but this is far too early. He still needs a refresh here. And we can see he gets a refresh here, but he's made it a lot harder for himself in the fact he's only got 3 bullets to do it in. I bet if we were to look around here, not just in this situation, but in most situations, Mets, what is he doing? He's looking out of zone, but he just started moving. I guarantee you, F8 Mets was looking at his map there. He was not actually looking at the route ahead. He had such a free drop down right here. As soon as zone pulls, you guys need to be ready. If he'd have pre-popped Fizz here, just pre-pop Fizz anyway, when zone is going to pull, he could have dropped straight down onto that layer and been about 20-30 meters ahead of everyone else rotating. You should obviously box up straight away after that to avoid getting beamed, but everyone has about 5 seconds after the zone pulls when people are just looking at their map. He waits for a good timing here. I do like this timing in zone. He's waiting till a lot of people are running past him, a lot of people have built for him, and therefore he only takes 100 damage getting to this zone. First moving has pulled towards him, you can see it right here. It's not a bad zone at all. He's kind of waiting for these players to rotate. This is smart. And he does find a refresh. Very good. He doesn't get many of the mats at all though, unfortunately. And now he has 3 slots of medkits. If just one of these was an AR, perfect. This is what I mean. That guy had 3 medkits for him to pick up. If he already had an AR, it would have been perfect. You do not need to carry 2 stacks of medkits into endgame. 1 max. Some people don't even carry any medkits into endgame. They're the people that have like the fragging ability to get a ton of kills. But everyone should be carrying 1 stack. 1 stack is perfect. Everyone's carrying 1. So just kill them. Some people are even carrying 2. If someone kills Rayy now, they get 3 stacks of medkits. If they're carrying already 2 stacks of medkits, what do they need 5 stacks of medkits for? The medkits are just stacking up, everyone running into the zone. People overindulge in their medkit carrying, and it is so frustrating because it's just a spot of heals, a spray weapon in this case, it's just gone down the drain, and you'll see that the no spray weapon actually lost him the game here, in my opinion. He misses the mantle up, unfortunately, onto this guy. This is the guy that was next to him earlier, which is really funny. But he eventually almost hard rolls this guy, and then this guy drops off high ground. He hears him, and he goes up. Perfect high ground take, didn't take a single bit of damage, and it barely wasted any of his heroes. Here, at this point, I think he's making a mistake. Zone is pulling away once again, and you can see he's not backside, but he's going to be backside soon. So I don't know why he's not building here at all. He's got 45 builds, he's got a lot of metal builds. If Zillan looks up on high ground, it looks free. If the guy that just dropped off height, looks up at high ground, it looks free. If any of these two look up at high ground, it looks free. Fresh build, especially metal builds, really deter people from taking it. He's got builds here, I don't know why he's not using them. Instead of keeping it the same layer, he should be going up like this, but he should have done it a lot sooner. We're layering, and this is where we really struggle without the spray weapon. There's no spray weapon to spray, so we just kind of sit up here like a lemon. There's nothing Rayy can do here. He's played out this game perfectly, and if he had a spray weapon, it'd be even more perfect. Anyway, this is how the game ends. He's on height. He does not run out of mats. Instead, the guy on low ground sprays him out eventually. And he goes for the heal officer, which is a questionable decision. But again, in this type of scenario, it is very nerve-wracking in a top 2 situation. Top 2, and he just gets sprayed out. It's unfortunate. Uses his last 5 fizz, gets shot. I think at this point, the heal off is probably not on anymore. He's gonna get shot. This guy clearly wants to fight, or he clearly wants to grief him. So trying to run off like this for the heal off is not gonna work. He should have just tried to fight him in this situation. But it's all good. They both had the same amount of medkits anyway. The other guy would have won, seeing as Rayy took a full damage as he was falling. Second place, not too bad, honestly. Just very small things that he could have fixed. With the spray weapon and medkits, what is EU's obsession? What is every region's obsession with medkits? Why do we need to carry 6 medkits into endgame? Don't ask me, I don't know. He does get the job uncontested this game, which is an absolute blessing from God. I am very happy about that because we get everything this drop has to offer. Last game was a little bit scuffed, but this game we have everything. And even more, we look at the map and it's looking like a Grand Glacier zone, which is absolutely beautiful because we have pulled zone. He could just rotate up here and we in endgame. Easy peasy. He makes use of his early game by once again scrap looting Brawler's Battleground. He seems to use this a lot, and it seems to show me that he's got a very planned out early game, which is super good and good for getting consistent end games. The vibes are probably slightly low this game, having just come second last game. However, he is doing super well here, getting himself in zone. He's right next to the pad on the other mountain. He has pulled zone again. He does not have to move a single time up until this point. He's playing this out so slowly, and you notice how he's got a spray weapon. He has an AR this game, which is absolutely beautiful. I could not be happier. If we look on the map, it is a pretty good zone, in fact. He's pretty close to getting in zone, and let's see how he rotates this. The fizz is coming in, and his rotation, nice, bouncing off the top of this build. Flicking this guy for a quick 80, and getting in here super early. One of the first people to get into zone, and he is in. Really easy there, wow. He's again pulled a pretty good zone. We know it's going to pull back here. It's going to either pull back or up here because of where zone can pull. Zone cannot pull out to C, and I don't think it's going to pull down. I don't think there's enough room for it to pull down, so it's got to either pull up or to the sides. So we have to just about get in here to make the perfect end game. Are we going to drop? I think we might drop, or maybe we're looking for height. I don't know. We're looking for height right now? We're looking for height. Last person to drop off, and we've got height. Question is, can we hold it? I don't think we can hold it till the end game. We might have to get a couple. Oh, what a pull right there. It's pulled straight back as predicted. It hasn't pulled down, it's pulled to the side, meaning that he is a perfect position here on high ground. He's got to make sure no one else takes it, so he does go up here, which I really like. And this is where he's on high ground and he has a spray weapon. Isn't that the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? He gets a kill here. I don't know how it's happened, but I've somehow communicated into the past, and he's managed to get a spray weapon in this game. It's great. He's still building in metal, making sure high ground looks nice and strong. I wonder how he's going to win this out. He's got good meds. He can absolutely get a refresher. He's got absolutely enough meds to take into Storm with him right now. 3 medkits and 6 splashes is still a very good amount of meds. And if he can get a hold of 3 medkits here, then he has 100% won the game, which we know he has. But 3 medkits and splashes or floppers is the perfect healables to win. And outlast Storm's sickness just enough to win. Where we look in top 5 here, he is the front side of the zone. 8 builds. It's unfortunate he got coned there. Very unfortunate. Nice mantle though to get back up on height, and 1 build here. Top 3. He's got the spray weapon. You'd think he's going to drop down on this guy. Nice, what a shot. And that is him out. That is him out. And look at that. He's in zone. The final good fight. We missed the first shot, but we finished off the fight. Bro did not want to take it to the heel off after that first match. What an endgame. What a perfectly played out endgame. He manages to keep height the entire game without getting a singular map refresh, showing it is possible to take it at the end of first moving. Good stuff. Rayy with his first earnings. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to watch another video, YouTube likes it and will support my channel more if you click on one of these two videos on the screen. It does help me out, so make sure you go do it. And check out the solo masterclass if you want to earn yourself nice and quickly. It is down in the description and really helps me out if you buy it. In a bit.